guys, Kamina the coach here, and forgive me, this is going to be a bit more somber video because I have a warning to share with those of you who are already expatriates, those of you who have a desire to work abroad, expatriate, somebody who leaves their country to go and work somewhere else, for those of you who don't know. So it's really somber, it's quite serious. For those of you who don't know, when I left from working overseas for the last almost decade, I was in Myanmar, formerly Burma. And if you don't keep up with the news, which a lot of my followers don't, if you don't keep up with the news, Myanmar has just fallen back under military rule. And that is after 7 brief years of democracy. This video isn't about my guesses. It's not about what I think caused anything. This is a warning. So if you haven't followed my journey and this is maybe your first or second video, I've had 3 job offers to work in China. Only 2 of them were successful. The last time that I was supposed to go to China was last year, August, I think, something like that. 2019. Whew, 2020 blew by. So I got a job in Shenzhen, and everything was cleared for me to cross over the border at Hong Kong, and I got turned away. So this was right around the time that President number 45 was toying with China, kind of messing with their tariffs, and it was around Christmas time, I think, or right before Christmas time. Everything is a blur after 2020. Today's February the 2nd, 2021, by the way. So I actually got stuck in Hong Kong. And I firmly believe all of my paperwork was in order. What they ended up sending me something saying they wanted to know why I had been in Iraq, but I was one of several Americans who had gotten stuck in Hong Kong at that time, trying to renew visas and all that kind of stuff. So what's your point, Kamina? So my point is this. So what's going on in the United States is not happening in a bubble. What's going on in the United States is going on globally, and I can't say that enough. Oftentimes when I say that I was abroad and I came back, people want to know why. Why did you come back? Well, if I would have stayed, I would now be in a much more dangerous situation than I currently am living in the United States. And while a lot of people, especially people of color, are afraid to be in the United States right now, it would be much worse for me to be stuck in Myanmar during a coup. And if you don't know, so they only have had 7 years of freedom, and they're fighting over a fraudulent election. This is not happening in a bubble. What's happening in the United States is happening globally, and all of the world is watching the United States right now. So I was very lucky in my time abroad. I really got to benefit from American privilege, and it's very unusual for a person of color to get to benefit from some type of privilege, but I definitely did. I fear that it is coming to a time where your American privilege is going to not only disappear, but possibly turn into a detriment, something that is dangerous. So why am I making the video? It is a warning, and I implore you, I have said this before, I actually made a video about it, why you need to be paying attention to international news, right? I don't get caught up in the intricacies of the United States, but I do watch what the United States is doing in relationship to other countries and what is happening in other countries potentially that I want to live in or that could have some effect on where I want to live. I am swiftly coming to a place where I say that the building and maintaining of relationships is more important to me than the luxury I feel while living outside of the States. And I also feel that the amount of unsafety that I feel here is kind of overshadowed by what could have happened to me if I would have stayed in Myanmar. Also, while I was in Hong Kong during the riots. So if you're trying to trace a timeline, I was in Hong Kong during the height of the riots when they actually attacked the Capitol buildings and such. And I was very, very close. So I could hear, I could have thrown a rock and hit the protesters. They were very, very close. The buildings that they were destroying were very close. There were helicopters over top. And there was some talk of enacting martial law. And China was blaming a lot of what was going on the United States. I've got to be honest, I had a crying breakdown. I was so distressed because I was worried about what happens if they do enact martial law and start rounding up Americans. America did it. We did it to the Japanese. So nothing stays the same forever. Everything is a cycle. And we're probably not going to be on this earth for the next cycle of the United States and for what is coming. But I need you to pay attention to what's going on in the world and understand that there is potential to get yourself into a worse situation than what you're in right now in the United States if you're looking to get out. If you're overseas, I would implore you to really pay attention to what's going on. Ignorance is not bliss. It's really dangerous right now. I'm not saying you have to be inundated, but you need to be informed. This is a very serious video. There are some very special people that I left in Myanmar. The Burmese people are wonderful. The same way I cried for Sri Lanka when Sri Lanka had the bombings during Easter. I cried because Sri Lankan people are beautiful people and Burmese are very similar, loving and kind and warm, and I ache for what they're losing and what's going on there. But this is what we're all facing. This is a global thing. This is not just the United States. We are not living in a vacuum. Pay attention, guys. Do your research. Don't live in this space where you think that America and Americans are always going to be the it. Because I suspect that quite quickly it's coming to a point where Americans and America isn't it, and it could potentially even put you in danger, especially as a person of color. So that's just my 2 cents on that. I love you guys. I'm not doing this to scare you. I just want you to be safe out there. Okay? So until next time, sending you love, light, peace, and joy. Kamina the Coach. I'm out.